Hello, everyone. Welcome to In Between the Pages with James Lott Jr. I am James Lott Jr. I am author, host, musician, poet. I do all this stuff. We're going to talk music today. I got somebody with a very cool name. I love his name. He is from Long Island, which I love my New Yorkers. I have many relatives buried out in Long Island. But I know my New York peeps. He's actually a third-year PhD student at the same time. He has music coming out, which people look at me too because I do TV hosting and I'm a certified life coach and music out. I have like 5 albums out. I do all kinds of stuff. You can do both. It's okay to do both. And we're going to talk about that with him. Nicky Bondz, and his new single is called Love. Hi, Nicky. How are you?
Good, man. I'm good. That's funny how you brought up, you could be whatever you want to be, man.
Why not? Because I feel like, education's good, and we're going to talk about that for a second, but that's always good to have that. But it can also help inform your music. It can inform how you do business. It can inform all kind of stuff. Whatever art. I mean, art is good too. Art is good. Education's good. It's all good, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, in today's day and age, you kind of want to be able to have, multiple sources or multiple streams of revenue, because like you said, for example, coronavirus right now, it's the highest unemployment rate, I think, since the Great Depression, right? So it's like when you're able to secure, as they like to say, multiple bags, right? You kind of eliminate that stress factor of like, oh crap, like my small business is shut down because of this or Corona. So where else am I getting my money from this month? How am I paying my car note and my mortgage, right? So I think this will help people wake up in terms of their versatility on what they could do to yield money, in terms of finances. I think it was a huge wake-up call for America in general. I'm sure the 1% could care less. They got enough money to travel to Mars, but
Yes.
that's another story.
That's a whole other show, Nicky. It's a whole other show.
Oh yeah.
But I agree with you. It is funny. I work in several worlds. I'm a certified life coach, professional organizer, all that. I have a business for that. But I'm also in Hollywood. So, and both kind of shut down. But the one thing that didn't shut down for me, because I'm a multi-hyphenate, as we call it in LA, we're multi-hyphenates. I get royalty checks for my books. I get royalty checks for my music. And they might be huge, but they actually make a difference than getting no money. When you have no money coming in, you're screwed. But I got a check for $500 last week, and I was like, I'll take that. I'll put that towards something. It'll work, right? Yeah.
Thanks for paying the car insurance, buddy.
Right, exactly. Or cable, or my Disney Plus, whatever subscription, whatever. I mean, I got $20 from something there. Then I was like, that'll take care of my Disney Plus subscription. So I'm good to go for a minute. I can finish watching The Mandalorian. There you go.
Watch The Mandalorian now, guys. Season 2 on its way. Like, let's go.
So I just feel like, what you're saying is so true. Nowadays, you need to have, well, not need to, but just nice to have several things coming in for something like, a natural disaster can happen. And also, I know folks who now are looking into other ways to make money that they didn't think of before. So you're right. You're absolutely right about that.
Have to, man. By the way, am I coming through clear, or should I put my mic on?
Your mic was fine so far, but I did notice a couple of times you sounded far away than close, just really quick. It's not bad or anything. So, but just
like my real mic, so you could hear me clear, or
that's a microphone. That's a microphone.
Dr. Dre treatment right here.
Hey, I'm not mad at you.
Wait a second, you haven't found out about this?
No. Tell me about it. As you're using it, tell me about it. Put it up, put it on. Tell me what's going on.
So basically, this piece right here is called the chaotic eyeball, right? So what happens is, like the gold standard in the music industry is Newman, the Newman microphone. Newman makes great mics, right?
Yes,
so
they do.
I actually have the Newman inside this wonderful little piece of foam right here. So what happens is it also has a pop filter for you built in.
Wow.
So now, 2 years ago, you'd have the mic, you'd have to put that little plastic piece of crap in front of it, right?
Oh yeah, for the window, yeah. I have that.
That round filter that goes around the outside.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Space cadet trying to record music, right?
Yes.
So now, I mean, I should be in I'm not paid by Chaotic.
He's not paid by them. He's not endorsed or anything.
This is not an advertising fee for the program, for the brand, but this stuff is great, man, because what you could do is, this is basically almost emulating a mini enclosed booth, because now your sound gets captured in the phone.
So you're telling me, this is real life, kids, this is real life people. You're telling me I can get rid of this thing that I'm using?
Oh yeah, mine is sitting.
I see it. I'm saying, you're telling me I don't need this thing anymore? I could get rid of this thing if I get that?
Yeah, exactly. You don't need that
thing.
I mean, that was kind of the gold standard for years, but now, I mean, this acts as if you're literally in an enclosed space, because the sound gets trapped into the microphone. So basically, you know how, you soundproof your room, you put the foam everywhere.
Yep.
Now you don't need to do that anymore. So now you could just plop this bad boy on your mic, make sure it's nice and seamless, everything's super tight, and boom, you're ready to rock and roll. There's zero, obviously when you're recording, you put reverb and echo, as effects on Pro Tools, but, you don't want natural reverb because then it can screw up the composition when you're mixing and mastering. So right here, this bad boy is great. Check it out, Chaotic Eyeball. Great company. I got like 3 of them. But
I just wrote it down. I see. I love doing interviews. I learned something new. I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's great.
I have my little setup. I have a room that I record. I have a whole setup and everything. So that's actually.
I did the same thing, man. I'm like, you know what? I actually saw this. I think it was Dr. Dre on Instagram was recording, and he was using this. So I typed it in, and I'm like, what is this? And then I found out the name of it, and I ordered it. And now the vocals have been sounding much more crisp.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah. It's basically like a natural channel strip. Like it just
cuts
out all dead noise whatsoever.
Wow.
So that's really made a difference in my vocals for sure.
I'm sitting there taking notes. I'm like, and what did you hear? And I'm like, that is, I mean, it's this thing is it lightweight?
How you spell chaotic, but instead with a C, it's a K. So it's Kaotica, chaotic. Chaotica Eyeball. It's called the home studio.
Got it. Okay, I'm like, okay, and kids, you learn the education never stops.
Oh yeah, and if there's new artists that are, I don't know how many kind of followers you have that tune in, but if you're a new artist, guys, and you want some cost-efficient stuff, this is not crazy expensive. This isn't $1,000. It's a piece of damn foam. So you go to the website, you invest your $200, and I promise you, your vocals are going to sound clean. So,
my people who follow me always want to hear tips. They always want to hear. They always ask me, how do you do this? How do you do this? So that's why I have people like you on who give us. We love hearing things like this, right? My followers love hearing stuff like this. They want to know where you get your instruments from, where do you get all this stuff, and I'm very impressed. I did not know that. Thanks, Dr. Dre, for showcasing that to you.
Definitely, he probably just made like a quick $200 off us.
Oh, yeah.
Just from bringing it up.
knowing him, exactly. Knowing him. That's very cool. How long have you been doing music?
Not very long.
So it's a newer passion of yours that you started doing?
Well, I wouldn't say a newer passion. I would say that I've always been a music junkie ever since I'm a kid, man. Like my dad was one of those those cool dads that so I was born in the early 90s. I was born in 1990, so I'm almost
I could be your father. I could be your father. Oh my God.
Yes, you could be my dad.
I had a daughter who was born in 1989, so I know.
Yeah, exactly. So, but my dad was, I'd be 6, 7 years old, 96, 97, and he'd be bumping Planet Rock and African Bambaataa and real old school hip hop, Run DMC, and then he would be bumping Biggie, Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes.
Eminem when M first came out.
Yeah.
I was like 8 years old when the Slim Shady LP came out. He was bumping it. I'm like, who's Kim? Who's this guy Kim he keeps talking about?
I know, right? I know exactly.
Character, and he's like, and then also he was also we're from New York and he's Italian guy from Queens.
I love it.
They were really big into like freestyle 80s music back in the day, like when Madonna's coming on the scene and like that old school freestyle 80s type music.
It's all Expose and Stevie B and Debbie Deb and Chenier. Your father's my age probably. It's the same stuff. I love all that stuff. Love it.
I was raised on, and then it went into like, Show Me Love, Rhythm of the Night.
Oh yeah. Cover Girls, all them. Company B, I love all that stuff. Jabbar, all that stuff. I love all that stuff. All that. Shannon, all that stuff. I know all that stuff.
Classics at such a young age.
Yeah.
So basically, thanks to him, by the time I was in 5th grade, around circa 2000, 1999, I'm aging myself right now. They were, hey, labels can't know I'm 29, man. They got to think I'm 23.
You look young. You look young.
Bro, come on.
Hold on to that. I'm 51 next month. So
maybe I should Botox. I don't know. But yeah, man. So I was raised on like these legends, and then I kind of just, it just carried over to me because I know probably some of your notes about me was I was also a pretty big time athlete. So, music played such a big role on like just getting me hype, man. Before hockey, football, and lacrosse, I was making playlists before playlists was even a thing. You know what I'm saying? Spotify didn't even exist. I'm serious.
Like I know. It didn't back then. No, it didn't.
There was no Spotify.
Nope, it wasn't.
Right, remember we had LimeWire?
Somebody brought that. Oh my gosh, someone brought that up yesterday. I was talking to another musician. Yes, I do. I never got into Napster, but I got into LimeWire. I found stuff. I was like, what?
I'm like
burning CDs.
Dude, I'm in like 9th grade, like waiting for the feds to break my door down.
Same here.
Like, I had like 6,000 songs on my computer, like every single Lil Wayne song, and I'm like, yo, Birdman's gonna come after me because I got Carter 2, Carter 1, Carter 3, The Drought 3, Drought 4. I'm like, they got it. They're going to catch on.
For me, it was Metallica because Lars Ulrich was on there going, fuck all these people. And I was like, but I love Metallica. I'm finding these rare songs. So I was waiting for him to come to my house. Be like, first, before you arrest me, I love your music. And then you can arrest me.
It's like, actually, you can arrest me because your music's phenomenal.
Exactly. So, I'll take it.
As I get your album in jail, I'm good. It's okay.
So you always like music, so I guess then the newer question would be then what made you decide to actually take the leap and do music of your own?
Gotcha. This is also a clean podcast, right? No,
it is, but a few words come out. Yeah, they come out. That's fine.
No, I just want to make sure I don't want to get you demonetized or anything.
Yeah, that's very nice of you, sir. I like that. Okay, thank you.
I know how it is. I feel you there.
I can tell you know how it is. So yes.
Transition. Well, I met a wonderful young man in high school that you might know of. He is so. I kind of sound like a fanboy right now, but this kid, man, Jon Bellion. I'm sure you heard of him.
Yeah, I have, yes. Oh, yeah.
Kid, man, I remember we were in 9th grade, so we're from the same town. Okay. So now this kid's touring the world, making, millions. If you look at his YouTube, he's
phenomenal.
Special. His voice is unreal. Yeah. So I remember we had recording class together. So when we were juniors and seniors, when you get older in high school, you have a lot of free periods, right? Especially if you were smart and you banged out all your state testing.
That's what I did.
I banged out all my state testing, my freshman and sophomore year, all my regents exams, right? So by 10th and 11th grade, I literally only had to go to 3 classes a day.
Same here.
It was all like electives, like HTML, like computer class, like how to build a website.
I was done by noon. I was able to go off and do whatever.
So what happened was all me and my boys who were into music, were done by noon. So we had each class is 45 minutes, right? So we had close to over 2 hours of free time. And I don't know where my school district got the money for this. I think they were indicted like a couple of years later, because I'm serious. Because, bro, when I'm
Oh
telling
no,
you,
he didn't say that. That's so funny. Oh my God.
we were like, where'd all this money come from the studio? My
Come
school,
on.
my high school was huge. I'd say a quarter of the actual square footage of my high school was a legit entire music studio.
Wow.
I swear to God, I've never, even to this day, going in some of the biggest studios in LA and Atlanta where I am, I still haven't seen stuff like this ever. So I'd be in like 11th grade. I walk down the music hall, and there would be 20 Macs. And I'm talking not crap Macs. I'm talking iMacs, 27-inch, big bad boys, every single one with Pro Tools and Reason.
Wow.
And M Audio interface with an M Audio keyboard and a damn freaking mic.
Wow.
And on top of that, so that was like our big classroom. And then when you walked out, they had an entire privatized hallway of 4 soundproof recording booths.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when
That's amazing. That's amazing for a high school. That's amazing.
Guys getting this money from, because this is
Mafia. The mafia.
ridiculous. So basically, I met Jon during that time around 11th grade, and Jon would be in there like, you know me. I love music. I was a music junkie, but I was like 7th, 8th, 9th period. Like, where are the girls at? You know what I'm saying?
Of course, right.
I was like, you know, I would hop in. I'd be like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this beat today. You know, my bars aren't straight. I got to write a little better to this one. Let me go see where the girls are at. But dude, he would be in there day in, day out, and he wouldn't even leave when the bell rang at night period. His ass would stay there till like 5 o'clock, like nonstop. And even our music teacher, like I turned, because our music teacher was the man. He was so chill. He was like a real drummer. Like he was, you know, he does gigs and stuff. And I turned to him. I said, yo, I said, you see that kid right there? I said, watch. I said, give him 2 to 3 years. He's going to be the biggest thing, one of the biggest things. I'm like, and this is before Bieber. This is before Bieber, because we're a little older than Bieber. And I was like, watch out for this kid, bro. Watch out. Long story short, I was a year older than him. I graduate. I go to Quinnipiac University, which is not far. It's an hour from where I lived in Long Island. Just got to take the ferry across to Connecticut. And I come home that next summer, and all of a sudden, Eminem and Rihanna release Monster. And I'm like, wait a second. This hook, I've heard this hook somewhere. Long story short, Jon got his first gig. Jon wrote the hook for Eminem and Rihanna Monster at 17 years old.
Isn't that crazy?
And I went back and I said, listen, motherfucker. I said, listen.
Yes.
I said, did I not tell you this kid was going to be huge? And then from there on out, man, that kid took off. So, you know, unfortunately, you know, he's kind of, I wouldn't say in terms of politically, but musically talented wise, he is like Kanye. I mean, I've never seen somebody in my life get on a keyboard, shred while singing on beat. I mean, this kid was making high quality beats in like an hour and a half. I'm talking fully polished, mastered within an hour and a half. And then he would spit on it. Perfect. And I'm like, who is this kid? Like, what? And then, you know, after that, once he wrote for Rihanna, and now everybody knows he writes for Christina Aguilera, he writes for Beyonce. He's one of the biggest writers in the game. So I would say my passion for music started in high school. Thanks. It started first with my dad because he put me on cool music, and then the passion for actually creating my own content and music. You know, Jon Bellion really inspired me. And then, you know, I took the old college party detour, you know.
That happens.
And in 2009 and 2010, it was a lot more difficult to acquire software that it is now. Like today, any Joe Blow can go to Guitar Center and buy a shitty mic for $200 and buy a shitty interface, and use Logic. If they have a Mac, they have Logic already, and you can make your own music. So back then, I didn't have access to sing, to anything. So I took a detour, got my bachelor's degree, but there was always this itch inside of me, man, I really something in my subconscious is like, dude, you gotta try that. You gotta try this music thing. And it's, I don't know if you're a big energy guy about spirituality and when people pass and stuff, but
I am.
I would just get these random thoughts, almost these transmissions, that weren't my thoughts. It would just be a random thought would pop in my head, and it would be and they would be good ideas. And I'm like, where are these thoughts coming from? And I started acting on these thoughts. Hopefully it's some of my angels, putting some stuff in my head. But, so then I took that break. I ended up getting my master's degree. But this whole time, I'm sitting at home and I'm still essentially being a DJ, because I was still a music junkie. I was I thought I was cool because I was on Beatport, and I had the newest tracks from Tiesto and the newest tracks from David Guetta and Armin. And I was like, guys, I have the best playlist ever on iTunes. And so I went and I bought a freaking DJJ Pioneer mixing set. I was 23. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no management team. I had no one be like, bro, you need a lot of work because you don't know how to mix at all. So yeah. And then I got Ableton. I was trying to make beats with Ableton when I was 22, 23. I'm like, what is an EQ? What are these lines dragging here? So by 25, I was like, I think I'm gonna give up on that. I'm like, I'm definitely not a producer. So I'm like, I'm gonna stick to writing and I'm going to stick to singing and rapping.
Yes.
So what happened was I ended up getting into, like I said, a PhD program down here in Atlanta, right? And so the original plan was to get my doctorate. That was the original game plan, was to be more corporate and professional and, try to make a difference and help people and try to get people clean. And because deep down, I think I'm a good person, and I feel good when other people do better. Of course, my landscapers decide to come right next to me.
No, I didn't tell me earlier. I had some stuff happening over here. It's just real life, folks. We're at home. This is real life.
I know. I'm like, all right, buddy. Terrible timing. I paid to come on Thursdays, buddy. God. See, and this is why I'm starting my own YouTube channel. Because I'm going to do funny stuff like this to people, and it's going to be great. I already did my first, kind of like the Nelk, the Nelk Boys?
Yes.
Kind of like the Nelk Boys, but I got so many different ideas that they haven't done yet. That
Do it.
Yeah, our first video we got edited last night was hilarious.
Good. Do it.
So that's the other thing, just in case people watching, obviously my artist name's Nicky Bondz, but we just started we're going to start a new little YouTube. It's almost like a prank but challenge series.
What's the YouTube channel name? You have a name yet?
It's going to be under my Nicky Bondz artist page, okay. But the group is called Next Gen Boys, so as in next generation. Yeah. So yeah, so basically that series is going to be called the Next Gen Boys.
Got it.
So really
I'll promote that. Make sure you
go. Yeah, Next Gen Boys. I'm really excited. We got some cool ideas we've been writing down on what to do once this craziness stops, so we can go outside and have some fun and get some really funny content for YouTube. But yeah, back to the original point. Moved down to Atlanta to get the degree, and this was during the whole mumble rap era.
Yes.
And no offense to any of you guys, but a lot of you are trash. and I can't sing for shit.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. Talk about it. Tell me about it. Tell me.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
When I heard some of these dudes being signed, I'm like, honestly, like, I feel like I could do better. Like, I just felt like I could create better quality music where people could actually understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Can you understand the words that are coming?
Right, that movie, exactly. I say it all the time. I say that all the time. Yeah.
Right? Like that movie was a great rap.
Okay, go ahead. And
Chris Tucker. Yeah. I forgot who did that one.
Chris Tucker. It was good.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan. Yeah.
Well, of course, every artist has a different flow and different style and how they deliver their bars and their lyrics. But I was just like, kids think that this shit's hot. Like,
they love it. They love it. They're eating it with a spoon. They're eating it with a spoon.
Oh yeah, I'm just like, I can't. Like, I'm a pretty smart dude. I'm like, and I'm very, sonically like intelligent in terms of like I could like if you even do mumble 90% of the time, like I can understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
And there were some of these artists where I'm like, I get what you're saying, but I'm telling you, the 16-year-old girl who loves your shit has no idea what you're saying. No idea, because you're spitting fast. The racks, the money, the bag, the bag, shoot them in the like. It's like, all right, bro, like,
yes,
get it. You're hard. Like, you're banging your set. We get it, but like, it was just, it hit me personally as like, all right, man, like, I'm gonna be different, right? And I wanted to come up with music. As I said, Jon Bellion is a big influence on me. Another artist I think that's a big influence on my music is Post Malone. He's another.
Yeah, I like him.
Same thing, man. Great voice.
He's huge.
It's
funny how big he is.
Scary. You wouldn't expect that voice to come out of what he looks like, which is what makes it even funnier.
I agree. And some of the songs, you're like, oh, that's it's so Sunflowers. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, it works. It's his style, but I was like, I would have thought he would do that.
Like, you'd expect the guy to look like Fabio. I mean, the guy's got a beautiful voice.
Yeah, yes.
But he went with the mumble rap look, and with the hats and shit in his face. Post, not beefing with you, bro. Great voice. I'm even saying your voice is better looking than your face. That's all. Great music, though.
You're my new best friend. I love you. You're my new best friend. I love it.
I mean, I would love to have you on feature.
Okay.
Just let me know. I'll apologize.
In person, in public, I'll apologize. Come on my songs.
You can smoke a couple of darts. Whatever. It's all good. You're in LA. It's legal. But see, this is exactly why I'm starting my channel, bro.
I love it. You make me laugh. I'm a new fan of yours now. So I want to ask you, because you did put out an album last year, but this year you have a song out. So tell me the difference.
I have 3.
3 songs, okay. Tell me the difference. I don't know about love, so I didn't know about that. But tell me all about that. I mean, like, your sound.
Ooh, excuse me.
Yes.
Sorry. All right. So basically, get a little hot in here. So basically,
you were talking S. That's why you get a little hot in there.
You get me turned up.
Talking that ish. That's why it's getting hot in there.
So basically, yeah, I did a transition in terms of the direction of where I wanted my music to go to. Like I said, I didn't want to sound like every other act. I didn't want to sound like Little Peep and Little Xan and all these little shits, whatever their names are, Little Pump. They all
baby that.
All have the same flow, bro.
Yeah. Even
Snoop and 50 did that meme like a year ago on Instagram where it's like like that shit gets old. Like even Russ is a great artist. Russ is self-efficient. Russ writes his own music. Russ produces his own beats. Russ mixes and masters his own music.
Yeah.
So does Jon Bellion. Those are people that are extremely talented, you know? So basically, I'm trying to create my own lane by, I guess you could say, infusing this eclectic vibe of hip hop, EDM, with like a sprinkle of pop on there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's where the industry is kind of going. I feel like, for example, Flow Rida kind of started that about 10 to 15 years ago. You know, apple bottom jeans, like, you know what I'm saying? He, you know, Flow Rida started that 15 years ago, and then Pitbull kind of tried and came along and kind of did the same thing with him with the dance records and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, a lot of those beats I feel like were very, very pop. Like that's a little too pop for me.
They crossed over. They did cross over. And that's all I'm saying.
But for that time period, it was very new.
Yeah.
And it's cool because, and in terms of actually the instrumentation, like the sounds they were using were a little too poppy for me. Like, I feel like some of those beats, if you remove Pitbull from the record and you put Lady Gaga on, it would have sounded it would have been fine.
Let me ask you, it's almost like the same thing when David Guetta came out, started putting Usher on his songs, and it's like you took them out. It's like they're very pop, even though they're EDM.
They're pop EDM, yeah. Like, for example, Titanium.
Yeah.
Sia, you know, that was, you know, if it wasn't for Sia, he could have had Lady Gaga on there. He could have had Taylor Swift. He could have had Katy Perry. Like, those, they're EDM beats, but they're very mainstream vanilla. And not taking anything from David Guetta, because I think he's an absolutely
same here.
phenomenal producer. But certain artists want beats, you know, when you have a specific feature in mind, you know, like a Katy Perry or you know, a Sia. All right, what is her voice going to sound good on?
Right.
We want a pop beat that's going to beat.
So you grab a Calvin Harris, you grab a David Guetta, exactly. They'll produce it. It'll be good. You know, a Tiesto. They'll make it sound
legend. Right. The Armin van Buurens, all that stuff.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So basically, you know, Love is actually a little bit older. Since Love, I dropped Love on January 31st.
Yep.
And then 2 weeks later, I dropped a song called Satellites, which actually has, I'll pull up some numbers for you right now.
I thought I only saw Love on there. So I was like, I didn't see the others. I'm like, good, okay. I listened to Love. I liked it, but I didn't.
Yeah, if you go on my Spotify now, you'll see, you'll see.
I'll follow you on there. I'll make sure I follow you on there.
So right now I have 3 songs that have come out since the 31st. So we have Satellites is at around, by tomorrow, to be close to 350,000 streams.
Good for you. Good.
And Move, which I released 2 weeks ago, is going to be, by tomorrow, it'll be at 150K. And Love's at 150K.
Okay, I'll share that. I didn't see that. I'll make sure I follow you on Spotify. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So basically, you know, we're getting these numbers up, which I'm happy for, because basically I changed my entire style. Like, at first, because I grew up on gangster rap.
Yes, of course. Yeah.
You know, I'm from New York. I grew up on 50. I grew up on Jadakiss. I grew up on Fabulous. Lloyd, you know, Styles P, you know, The Game, Crooked Eye, Joe Budden, Joel Ortiz, Method Man. You know, I grew up on real gangster rappers. So basically, I think subconsciously, because that's what I was listening to when I first started to write a year ago, because I've only been doing this for a year, I was writing in that street sense and that hard sense, because that's all I was listening to was that type of metaphors, more of the violent, condescending metaphor, right? So then I released an album in August, and I like the album personally, but what I ended up doing was I realized that it's a harder sell for me. Let's be real, I'm lighter skinned, and I think the hard gangster approach is a much more uphill battle of someone who is of a lighter complexion, because sometimes I feel like the urban community feels like we're trying to use them, which is a big thing. And a lot of rappers have gotten that slack.
Culture appropriation, the whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, like what's his name? Dame Dash always rips on white rappers, like, oh, you're a culture vulture. Like, no, bro, I like fucking rap music. You know what I mean? Like, so basically decided to go into more of the eclectic, transitional, dance mixed with hip hop, So when you see, after we get off, you check out Satellites and check out the song Move, you're going to see, it's has a very, very, like you said, Calvin Harris vibe. So like, when Future has done a couple collabs with Calvin Harris.
Yeah, I know he has, yeah.
And that's what I'm going for. It's the hip hop vocals that, and I'm not talking like hip hop vocals as in like I'm spitting like heavy, like Jadakiss, like blah, 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 like more of like the trap vocals of like this, the like Trippie Redd, like this singing type rap, like more toony, more melodic. Not, stepping down the corner about to rob us, I'm like, not like that, just like everybody, like more like melodic singing type stuff, right? So yeah, I would say if I would compare my new music, it would probably, what people have told me, number one is yes, Calvin Harris, number two, Marshmello. Yeah, that's kind of the, and obviously Jon Bellion, because he's also very eclectic. He's more soul hip hop combined with certain progressive dance, I guess you could say. So
yeah, it's funny how you just said something I kind of want to bring up a little bit. It's funny what you listen to, what you like, does inform what you write and what beats come out. Because when I worked on my fourth album, which came out last year, Salty Clouds, Sunflower Dreams, thank you. It was like one of my titles. It was like, I was a little salty last year. I had some stuff go down. I was a little salty. The clouds were salty, folks. They were not sweet. They were not fluffy clouds. F that S. They were salty.
It's rough here, guys.
Yeah, exactly. But I found when I was writing some of the songs, I write all my own songs. I have producers I work with, and they're just amazing. And one of my producers is Italian, and we do some great stuff together. And I do spoken word. I do some singing, but I do spoken word set to mostly dance music. And some of my heroes are Gil Scott-Heron, people like that. Those are my heroes. So I'm a storyteller. So I like how my stuff is very storytelling. But I found my music was changing because of what I kind of like already, which is always there. But then when I was listening to it, I was listening to a lot of late 60s, early 70s folk rock.
Right.
And I know some of my songs were really sounding like, I'm like, why am I sounding like Carole King all of a sudden? And I'm sounding like James Taylor. And I'm like, when they're all legends, I mean, obviously they're all legends. I'm not saying I'm them at all. Early, some Fleetwood Mac and some Led Zeppelin. I was thinking, it's like people, like, I can feel it in the way I'm writing and the way I'm talking. And I'm like, and then mixed in a little later, I was like, I'm feeling some, early Run DMC, early Curtis Blow, early. I'm like, their cadence, how they spit their raw, how they said it,
delivery,
influence this album, which is cool. It's very cool. So when you said that, I just want to say I understand the whole thing. It was kind of like what you always like anyway, but then what you're listening to kind of it'll come in and kind of influence a little bit of what you decide what direction you go.
Yeah, definitely. It's cool how you almost, like you said, it's almost a subconscious thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because when your brain is exposed to certain frequencies, right? Because that's what music is.
Yeah, I agree.
Frequencies.
Yeah.
Once you get used to hearing that level of frequency, it becomes almost embedded in your head unconsciously. And then, because that's with me, I would find myself writing. It was almost coming out so easily that it was like, wow, this is really impacting my creativity. So then when I started to kind of change more or less my approach, it was a little difficult at first because coming from, so what happens is I released Taking the Throne out in August, right?
Yep.
And what happened was there was 30 songs on there. So I said to myself, I said, you know what? Let's redrop this. Let's get rid of, let's only put out the top 8. Because at that time, I wanted to get away from the gangster rap. So, because if I want to, I could sound pretty, like if I want to, I want that New York accent to come out and sound gangster, I could have it come out. You know what I mean? So like, so I was like, you know what? Commercially, in terms of marketing, this is going to be a lot more difficult to sell. I mean, and this was right when Tekashi, you know, right when Tekashi, you know, got indicted, and I was like, you know, I am like Tekashi in a certain way. I was raised in a good area. I, you know, did go to good high schools. I did go to good colleges. Same thing with Tekashi. Tekashi went to freaking private school. You know what I'm saying? And he got into metaphorically into bed with real G's, and real G's that said, hey, I think we got a little cash cow here that we could use and manipulate. And then it went both ways. They manipulated each other, and then everybody ended up in jail. But that's the message, is that be true to yourself, man. And that's what my mom tells me every week. That's what my publicist tells me every single week. I'm on the phone with them and I'm showing them new music. They're like, we love it, man. Keep being true to yourself because this is your lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine, you know, I get the Adam Levine comparison a lot too, just because of like how I look. Yeah. You know, seriously, I get it in public. It's ridiculous.
I can see it.
Same similar face.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the demographic you should be going for. Not the people who listen to NLE Choppa and Little Pump. Like, they're not going to buy my music.
Oh, right. You're right.
18, 20, 21-year-old girls are going to buy my music. I'm not trying to boast myself up, but thankfully, you know, I'm a little bit more marketable visually speaking. So, you know, we were like, all right, with gangster rap, guys don't really give a crap about how good looking you are. They don't. So it's like, that takes away one of my main assets. You know, I work hard on my body. I work hard to look good and stay in shape. You know, so it's like, we need to change the demographic. We need to aim more towards women, right?
They buy, they stream, they show up.
Buy heavy. If you saw my data on Spotify, they do not play around.
I believe it.
They're helping me out big time. And, you know, and I just think just how I interview, how I come across in person, it's more authentic for me to do pop. You know, it's like, imagine if I was still doing rap, I'd come on here and I had to put on a front, be like, yeah, bro, like, just dropped this new album, dog, and this shit is hard, bro. This shit is hard, dog, like, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like no cap, bro. This shit is hard. Like, nah, man, that shit's corny, bro. Like, these dudes put on an act because they'll get signed to a major label. Meanwhile, they're a bunch of little boys. You know, some of them, don't get me wrong, probably definitely grew up in the hood, but you get some other kids like Lil Xan. Bro, Lil Xan steps into a room with me by himself. I don't care how hard you think you are, dog. Trust me, boy. I'm not trying to come off hard. I'm a pop artist, but you don't want it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just be true to yourself. Just because you're doing pop music or you're doing progressive music or you're doing softer or you're doing R&B, you know, I feel like there's this misconception with new kids and new artists that, oh, they're soft. You know, right to the rug, oh, he's talking about love all the time, he's soft. It's like, nah, because everybody can't play a gangster.
Know your lane. Know your lane.
Oh, exactly. Look what just happened with Tekashi.
Right.
What just happened with Triple X. Look what just happened with Little Peep. You know what I'm saying? Playing this gangster role, you're either going to get shot, you're either going to go to jail, or you're probably going to fucking get high. Excuse me. You're probably going to get super high and loaded and die from overdosing. I mean, look at the last year, the 7 guys that have passed away.
I know.
Excluding Nip, because Nip, that was just crazy, wrong place, the wrong time. And he was a great guy, great community member.
I knew him. I lived 10 blocks from his stuff. I mean, I was here.
Very high class guy, very, extremely intelligent. I mean, he was like very philosophical, big reader.
He did a lot in our community. I mean, in my community, he did a lot for my community. I was very sad.
But see, that's the difference, though, because he is real. Yeah. He lived that life, and it's not an act for him.
And his songs were good. He was real, and his songs were good.
Exactly. His music was quality, but he lived it. You know what I'm saying? And you have some of these artists comes out that aren't living what they're rapping. And I'm sure a lot of the OGs right now, if any of the OGs listen to this when we release it, say if Crooked Eye comes on, he listens to this because I know Crooked Eye. I have Crooked Eye's number. I text him every now and then. Like that's one of my guys, and he, and some of the bigger ups that I've talked to on the phone, pretty close with some people at Dave East camp, and they're like, they said to me, like, listen, like, Nick, they're like, no homo, you're a good looking kid. You need to appeal to the ladies.
You're a business. You're a business.
Exactly. It's a brand.
Business of music. The business of selling music. It is. Seriously, it is.
So basically now I got a great team behind me, with Lauren. I got a great team behind me. What's up, Lauren? What's up? What's up, girl? Nah, so I got a great team behind me, I have my publicist, I have my social media manager, we're getting a lot of articles out there. Like I said, we're just starting this new, almost like an Impractical Joker type YouTube channel. And we have 20 songs ready. I mean, ready.
Good.
Mastered, done. So we are so excited, bro.
Well, Nicky, I am your new friend and follower. I'm your new fan. So I want you to know that anything you want to promote, you can always come back on and promote it, anything. And if you're out in LA and we're able to go back in, exactly, also go to a studio and do stuff with them too. We ever go back in, you can come on the studio, come on my show. I mean, I'm behind you 1,000%. I think you are an extraordinary young man who has promise, and actually, and I like that you're authentic.
Thank you.
You can tell when somebody's authentic. I'm in Hollywood. I see it. I see where it's not authentic. I know. I can tell you're like me. I can tell we have a lot of. I see a lot of. I see it.
Oh no, I see a lot of myself in you too. We have a very similar personality, and usually people who are authentic and organic, you could sense. Just like now, I could sense that energy with you.
Same here. Same here.
Energy is. Some people question it because they can't visibly see it.
Right.
But energy is fourth dimensional, guys. Just because you can't see something doesn't mean it's not there.
Where's my bell? Ding, 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 ding.
Right? Like, for example, I don't know how much time we got left. I don't want to,
we have a few minutes. I can talk to you forever, but people don't listen forever. I can talk. You just have to come on again, but go ahead and tell this.
People that are listening, just, I'll get a little nerdy on you, a little metaphysics.
Do it.
Guys, when you walk into a room, have you ever, in an instance, walked into a room and be like, oh, something's going on here? You could feel the coldness. You could feel the tension. Or this guy doesn't, you could tell, oh, that guy definitely doesn't like that guy. And this guy doesn't mess with that group. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it all the time when I walk, not just in music, but let's say if I walk in the studio, so you could tell which artists don't mess with each other. And then it's like, you could just feel the energy, And I think that, a lot of people blow that off because there's not like an energy meter somewhere on the wall where it's like toxic. It's like, just trust your intuition, guys. If someone seems like they're full of BS,
they probably are.
They probably are.
They probably are.
And it's like, just guys.
Trust your gut. Trust your gut.
Dude, I've been told that when I talk to really high-end professionals, in the mental health community, also some existential professionals, some call them psychics, but you gotta trust your intuition, man, because we have something right here.
We do.
Called the pineal gland, guys. And that's a very, very, very strong thing. And that's called your third eye. And that's where you get that fight or flight. That's where you say, whenever you get into a situation that seems a little fishy, that's your natural intuition saying, this energy is not right. Get the hell out of here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
I have to ask you, what is your PhD in?
Mental health. So that's why I get in mental health. So that's why I get into all
that makes sense.
The existential stuff.
That makes sense. I can see you do that. Nikki, you are the best. I'm your new friend, fan, follower. I'm going to be promoting everything of yours. Definitely.
I do
yeah, so I go, exactly. I am seriously am. I seriously am. I think you are the real deal, and I think and I'm excited to see your future. I'm excited to see all your futures, where they go. Because I'm proof that I do everything. You can do it too. You can have mental health stuff. You can also be in music. You can do this. You can be an artist and be an intellectual. It's not a big deal. You can do it.
Absolutely, man. And I appreciate your support. And you know what? Like you said, whenever you want to do this again,
I'd love to.
Maybe we can, in a couple of weeks. I'll contact you because when the album drops in May.
Okay, let's do it.
Love to get something on, but make sure you message me on IG.
I will.
So I have and your contact.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do all that. Tell folks actually where they can find you on all the interwebs.
Gotcha. So, all right. So, guys, my IG, it's Nicky NICKY _Bondz. So it's BONDZ, kind of like James Bonds, but with a Z, not an S. So it's Nicky _Bondz. Guys, I'm on everything. I'm on all platforms. I'm on Spotify, Apple, Tidal, Amazon, YouTube, you name it. Just good news. Just got accepted into SoundCloud's Premier program.
Oh, wow. Good.
Yeah, we just signed with them yesterday. So now all my music is going to be available on SoundCloud for monetized purposes. So now I could release everything that I've already had, because that was always the issue with SoundCloud, is that they monetize. But supposedly they select a few artists that they feel are going to be big and up and coming. So just signed a deal with them yesterday, guys. I'm so excited. So now it's going to be on every platform now. So now we have SoundCloud, Spotify, and the rest of the gang. I might drop something tonight on SoundCloud.
Okay.
Be aware, Nicky Bondz might drop a fresh gem for you guys that's been sitting on this computer for about 3 months.
Okay.
So let the peeps know we're about to drop some exclusive. It's not going to be on anything. It's not going to be on Spotify. It's going to be an exclusive SoundCloud release. So I think I'm going to get that done for you guys tonight, just as a teaser for the album coming up around Memorial Day weekend. And hopefully, God bless, that we're allowed of the house out by Memorial Day weekend. I hope.
From your lips to God's ears, I'm like, I've been home 22 days. I've been home.
I bought a brand new car. Can't even drive the damn thing. But a brand new Mercedes. It's been sitting there. I got like no mileage on it. I'm like, did I really drop an E? I just got a brand new E Grand Coupe. I'm just like, did I really just waste hundreds of thousands for this shit to sit in the garage? I'm like, damn. But things are going good. Dreams are starting to happen, but
you're hilarious.
I want to drive my AMG, man. Killing me.
And folks, on that note, which just makes me laugh, I'm James Lott Jr. You can follow me where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold, at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms. I am on every single platform too, from Spotify to Deezer to iHeartRadio to everything. I'm on everything. And my YouTube channel is JLJ Media, which I'll have this on there. So follow everything that I'm telling you to follow for me and for him, Nicky Bondz. And everybody, please stay safe. Please stay sane. And you know what? Listen to music.